FuzzJockRadio!
Hut, hut, hike!
And we are back with FuzzJockRadio, episode number 19. I am your host, Fuzzy.
I'm J-Maz.
I'm C-Dubs.
Yeah, we got C-Dubs. And then we also have special guest host, guest, hest, ghost, Colin.
Hello, everybody.
Colin's here.
I'm here.
What's up, guys?
What are you doing, Colin?
What are you doing? What are you doing here?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Well, when you first posted about this podcast 19 episodes ago, maybe it was, I'm not quite sure how far back it was, but my first thought was I want to be on that and I want to talk about being a Buffalo sports fan.
Oh, nice. I like it.
I'm really, this is like a dream come true.
Oh, I appreciate that you listen to all of our episodes, too.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome. Colin here is a really wonderful person that has moved to Mankato with his wife and band and
Life.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's here now.
So we'll get into who Colin is a little bit more throughout the show, but we'll start off the way that we normally start. What did we do last week?
Fuzzy, how are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah.
I was ready to get on the bob.
Oh, wow, that was really quick. Usually people don't ask me like how well I'm doing until everybody's done, and then everybody kind of forgets, and I whisper in their ear, hey, ask me how I'm doing, and then somebody chimes in. But yeah, I'm good. Did a lot this week. I don't really fully remember what happened. Colin right now is taking a selfie thing, and it's kind of distracting. But
We're not
it's
on the
all
air,
right.
are we?
No.
Like being filmed, or
No
I
filming.
got
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
We don't like video cameras around here because I have that radio face.
Laura says you have a very nice speaking voice.
Oh, thanks, Laura. C-Dubs, how was your week?
My week was all right, I guess. I slept all week, the whole week.
Oh,
You like
I went to work. then I slept.
Rumpelstiltskin or what?
And I went to work and slept.
Rumpelstiltskin slept a lot?
I think he slept a lot. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah?
I've seen people sleep more.
Yeah. I sleep a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. I've been sleeping in like it's my job lately.
Yeah, well, it's that time of season. A lot of
Yeah.
people hibernate.
I definitely hibernate around this time of the year.
And
Yeah.
Dylan.
Dylan.
Do you ever find that on days that when you want to sleep in, that you just naturally wake up at the time that you would normally do that, and then you can't get back to sleep?
That does happen.
That happens to everybody
Or
in the
if
world.
you go back to sleep, then you wake up at like 4 a.m. or 4 p.m. or whatever.
That happens to everybody.
Yeah.
He's shot.
There are
4
times.
p.m.
There's been times I slept till 4 p.m. It's nice. Colin, what was your last week like? Since last Monday.
Sure. Last Monday, it was a short week for me. This semester, I only teach one class at MSU, so I'm on Monday. I teach Monday and Wednesday at 4:00, and then Tuesday, Thursday, I'm at my new job in New Ulm, where I work for the TV station. Fridays, I have off. So last week was just a pretty quick run to the end zone of Friday, which began my 4-day weekend.
I forget, you're
Yeah.
a teacher.
I am. Yeah.
What do you teach?
English.
Nice.
English composition.
Yeah, you're liking that.
I do. Yeah, I've been doing it for 9 years now. I think. Yeah,
You deal with the freshmen?
mostly freshmen.
Freshman comp? Yeah.
Sometimes
Oh,
they're
Idiots.
usually freshmen. Sometimes there's a mixed bag of adults and
non-trads.
seniors. Yeah, sometimes
I was
you
one
get
of
some-
those.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
all right. That's good, man.
I was a non-trad taking
Yeah.
freshman comp with a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, mostly freshmen.
Yeah.
Every now and then there are adults.
They are
It's
not
true.
fresh.
Yeah.
They're-
18, you're an adult, but it's should adult in training maybe.
Yeah.
So, guys, we had some football
Sports.
this last Sunday.
Sports have happened.
There was no Monday night football. There was no Saturday night football. There was no Thursday night football. There was no Wednesday night football. There was no Tuesday night football.
And there was no Monday night football.
There was no Monday night football. There was no brunch football.
Brunch football.
Brunch.
Brunch ball.
Brunch ball.
Punch ball.
Foot brunch.
Because the game didn't start until 2. So, it's already past brunch.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got the KC and the Titans.
NFC and AFC championships.
The
happened
championships.
yesterday.
Yes, the championships titles.
Dude, I wanted the Titans to win.
They didn't.
Titans.
I'm sorry to mention.
I was rooting for Titans, but
Yeah. Why?
because they knocked out the Patriots.
Oh yeah, the Patriots.
Yeah, that was a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. We helped knock out the Patriots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like so because of that, I figured like the Titans are kind of like on our team.
We single-handedly, Colin, took care of the Titans or took care of the Patriots for everybody.
Yeah, all
We put-
dynasties must come to an end, right?
We came to the conclusion that they always talk about how they're in a different league than everybody else, so we put them in their own
The
league,
Patriots. Sure.
and then they couldn't beat anybody else and lost against the Titans.
Yeah, what's really cool about the Patriots? Well, aside from nothing, but an anecdotal story about the Patriots. When I first moved out here in 2007, it was the Patriots' undefeated season. When they won every game except the Super Bowl, right? The only one that matters. The Dolphins, incidentally, went 0-16 that year, and nothings. And I had just moved out here. I had just moved out here, and I was living with a guy who was a year ahead of me in the grad program. He's from my neck of the woods too. We didn't know each other in New York, but we had went to the same undergrad at Fredonia. And every Sunday, Luke and I would go to Patrick's in St. Peter to watch the Patriots. Now we're both born and raised, Buffalo Bills territory, right? We're Bills fans, but the Bills still haven't done much since '94. So, you kind of get to pick and choose who you root for. And it feels good to root for a winner. And that year, we went and watched the Patriots every Sunday at Patrick's, and we would get pretty drunk.
Yes.
And then we would, make our way home. And we just watched Tom Brady put his thumb up the butthole of every freaking player. Randy Moss was on the team that year too, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, man, it was like watching a ballet. It was beautiful.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't really know fully what that feels like.
No, neither
here
do I.
in Minnesota.
No. But that's the only time that I can say I rooted for the Patriots, and I didn't feel bad when they lost the Super Bowl because I'm a Bills fan and I always want the underdog to win.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I love underdogs myself.
Yeah, I mean, who really honestly likes the winner? Like, it feels good to be the winner, but when you're always winning, I don't know. It gets boring.
It gets boring.
It gets boring.
That reminds me of this anime that I've been watching called One Punch Man, where
like One Punch Man or like
yes, One Punch Man.
Okay, sure.
When I showed one of my friends, I'm like, okay, this show is called One Punch Man, but I'm not going to tell you anything about the story because I want you to experience what this One Punch Man has to offer you. His name is One Punch Man, but I'm not going to tell you anything about the story.
Okay.
And his superpower is, he punches one person. With one punch, he can defeat anybody.
Sure. So he's always winning.
So he's always winning.
Sure. It's like The Rock in Jumanji.
Throughout the whole show, he contemplates, is this even fun anymore?
Sure.
Is this, like he can't get any better.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to get
There's
better
nothing to
to.
learn. Yeah, there's nothing to learn. So what does he do? I guess you can't tell us because
he just walks around and
punches people.
Well, bad guys come around and they're
Sure.
like, "Hey, motherfucker!" And he's like, "Just leave me alone. I'm trying to go home." "Oh, you're not scared of me? I'm big Mr. Lobster Man." And he's like, "I'm not scared of you. Just leave me alone." He's like, and then the lobster keeps on going after him, and then he's just finally like, bam.
Yeah.
He punches him once.
And then the show's over, and then that episode's over.
And then he's like,
is there a love interest?
And then he just contemplates, man, that wasn't even a challenge.
Yeah, right. That's how Tom Brady feels when he puts his thumb up your butthole.
Exactly.
Like,
That was our joke. That was a joke back then. Tom Brady put his thumb up your butthole.
So back to the Titans Kansas City game. The underdogs did not win. They lost 35-24.
That's not that bad of a loss.
No, it's not bad.
No, it wasn't.
It's two
It-
touchdowns.
It was
worse losses.
It was a fun game. Yeah, you're right, and we'll get to that. We were. Oh yeah, I remember something else.
Cool.
I just lost my train of thought.
The Titans were ahead of that game.
Yes, they started ahead.
Yeah.
Who was
and
the
it was a
higher
fun
seed?
game.
Was
KC
Kansas
was
City
the higher
was the
seed.
high
Yep.
seed? Yeah.
Yeah. And so, what was neat about this game? Okay, so it was fun. It was a fun game to watch. And then Kansas City did the same thing the Titans did against the Patriots.
They did
They did the Belichick move.
the Belichick of like taking the penalties and like
Yes.
delay of game
Yes.
and really
Yes. There was at one point when the clock was eventually getting to the end. All of a sudden, they did a delay a game, and then the next play after that delay a game, they had a false start, and then the refs told the guy, if you get one more penalty, then it's not good news for you anymore.
Were they doing it on was this purposeful maneuvers?
100%,
Because you're just trying to run the clock down.
each
Yeah.
each of those penalties took time off the clock.
Time off the clock, yeah. That's the thing that I just, with Laura and I were watching the Packers the past couple of weeks. She's from Wisconsin. If you don't know Laura, if you're listening, she's my wife. So she's a Packers fan, and that's cool. And now I am as well by proxy, I guess. But still rooting for the Bills. So I'm sort of in neutral territory when it comes to the Packers-Vikings thing. But we'll talk about that next.
Yes.
But it's been fun watching. I didn't grow up like loving football. I played one season and I was terrible. But I know the rules,
Sure.
But so it's been cool watching the games with Laura and explaining little things and sort of, that's this whole deal. And one of the things that occurred to me recently is how a quarterback, or I guess the coach, will, sort of instruct the quarterback to play the clock,
Yep.
like run the shot clock, run the play clock down to about 0, then hike the ball. And
Yep.
I didn't know that, though, that you can like sort of take penalties
So
on purpose.
last week, I didn't know that either.
Sure.
Until the Titans did that to the Patriots, and that's one of the reasons why they won that game.
Oh.
And the announcers were afterwards were talking about how they took that playbook style right out of Belichick's playbook.
Sure.
Because the
They-
Titans
Belichick.
coach used to coach with Belichick.
Okay.
And Belichick would do that all the time, and it was like one of his signature moves. So then at last
filth.
week's game, Titans did it to the Patriots,
Sure.
and then this week's game,
KC did
KC
it.
did it to the
I
Titans.
see. How funny.
Who's gonna out Belichick the
Andy
Belichickiest of
Andy
the
Reid trying
Belichicks?
to
Yeah.
show he's got some tricks too, even if it's the same one.
Filthy.
Andy Reid doesn't like to use tricks often, but it's fun to watch him play around.
Pretty
Yeah.
awesome. At the same time, the Kansas City didn't win by doing that. They had Mahomes just killing it. Their quarterback had 53 rushing yards.
Jesus.
He had the all-time rushing yards for their team. Their actual running back had like 43.
Wow. The thing I like about Kansas City, and this is sort of playing into being like a sports fan of a different team in a sort of the home of a team. So growing up, there was this kid I went to high school with, Vinny Garfalo. He was
that's a
cool.
name.
Yeah, he was a cool guy.
Garfalo.
He's the guy that would say, meet me in the bathroom after lunch, and he would beat you up. one time he told me my mother was an astronaut. He just said, Colin, meet me in the bathroom after lunch, and I said, no, man. And he said, your mother is an astronaut. And he just kept walking. And I was in 6th grade, and I will never forget that. Vinny is doing well. He owns a bar in Buffalo. He has a lovely wife and a son. I think a son. He has a baby anyway. I'm saying this because I'm going to tell him to listen to this because I'm talking about him. He's a Kansas City Chiefs fan is the thing.
Ah, okay.
Is the thing.
Okay.
And he was a Chiefs fan all through, middle school, and we were all Bills fans. Go Bills, go Bills. Doug Flutie's the man, we're rooting for the Bills. And Vinny's over here in his KC stuff, and we're like, what is wrong with you? And now he showed a picture of him as like a 12-year-old holding up his Kansas City starter jacket and says, like, I've been waiting 20 years for this day.
Oh, that's perfect.
So
good for him.
Yeah, so I guess I'm pulling for the Chiefs now for Vinny,
Yep. I mean,
Doug Flutie was from the USFL.
I was talking about this last week. Like, why don't we root for our closer teams if we're not in it?
Yeah.
And I brought up how maybe we should root for the Green Bay against the
would root
49ers
yeah.
because they're closer in proximity, and why not root for the team that shows what our region has?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Unfortunately, that didn't work. Our positivity didn't work for the Green
No.
Bay, and the 49ers ended
No.
up
Well, the 40
massacring them.
that was hard. And I like I said, I'm coming to the Packers. There was another kid in middle school, Ben Smith. always wore a Brett Favre jersey, and I was like, "Yo, who the hell's Brett Favre?" And he's like, "He's the Green Bay Packers quarterback." And I didn't. This is like 1996.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were a winning team back then, but they were, right? They were doing well.
Yeah, they
with
were.
Brett Favre.
They've always been good.
They've always been a good team. They're America's team.
Yep.
No, the Cowboys are America's
That's
team.
the Cowboys.
Fuck the Cowboys. Fuck the Cowboys. I will say
Yeah,
that
fuck them.
until the very end.
So-
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot to say about the Cowboys.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't I just don't like the whole why I just don't fully understand the whole rivalry that Green Bay has against the Vikings. I mean, other than we have to, but like the fans, it's like
Yeah.
it gets really venomous.
It's
sometimes.
terrible. Yeah, I was sort of bothered by the memes that I watched. The memes on Facebook, the dank memes that I saw this morning on Facebook. People like, suck it, Packers, and all these things. And I'm like, I'm not sore from the game or whatever, but like, I don't know. Their
Yeah.
team, like, do you feel better now? Like, are you going to have is your coffee tasting better? Are you going to have a better bowel movement
it
today
does.
because the fucking Packers lost? Like,
For
give
those
me a
people,
break.
it does.
Sure,
They post that dank meme that the Packers lost, and now they taste the delicious misery of Minnesota.
Yeah, and they have a
And-
clean getaway in
and
the
we're like,
bathroom. Yeah. I was talking to Laura, and she's like, like if the Vikings had gone, we would be rooting for the Vikings. But if the Packers had gone, I don't know what percentage of Minnesotans would be rooting against the Packers, but you can probably say it would be a fair one.
I think it would be.
Yeah.
Rivalries ought to be. We talked about this last week, but rivalries should be a fun thing.
They should be fun. They
Yeah.
shouldn't feel.
A fun and engaging.
Yeah.
Fun and engaging competition.
Yeah.
But like cooperative competition.
Sure.
To big up
Less
your
tribal.
competition, and not like.
divisive and
Yeah.
like leading to anger. Is it because, do you think, I mean, you guys grew up here. Is it because like the Packers have generally been a more winning
It's
team?
probably.
It could be
Is that
that,
it?
there's
Just like
bitterness there.
a jealousy and a
absolutely.
bitterness,
I think a lot of it too is that there's just a big rivalry between Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Is there?
Um,
What's the rivalry?
People, they look at they just don't. They look. It's kind of like Iowa, also Minnesota and
Sure.
Iowa. They talk shit about each other, but
Yeah.
like they don't in the Dakotas in Minnesota. Like there's no problem
Sure,
there.
sure.
But like Wisconsin and Iowa, people.
Do you
they
think it
kinda
has anything
dislike each other.
like I don't like
Yeah.
to get into politics by any means on the show,
Yeah.
but do you think it has like is it that it's that way with politics even? Like Minnesota's been more of a Democratic. It's always been a blue state,
Yeah.
and Wisconsin is a red state.
Sometimes.
I don't know.
sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. And I was talking to Laura today, because we were sort of in preparation for the show, and she's somehow recently came across a map of like which states hate which states. And it was like Minnesota hates Wisconsin. All of New York hates New York City and New Jersey. So you sort of get that kind of a funny joke. But Wisconsin hates Illinois. So
Huh.
yeah, like, and I know who knows what the polling is, for this little map here, but to think like, fuck you guys,
Well-
and then when Wisconsin's like, yeah, have you been to Illinois? So I don't know. It's just she said something like you're holding a hot poker, holding the end of a hot poker in your hand, expecting to like hurt the other person with it. And
So
this
does
is
anybody?
anger,
And then nobody hates Minnesota. That's just the way it works.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. Minnesota's all right.
I don't know.
Canada,
I kind of
maybe?
hate it.
It's cold.
People hate the
Canada.
cold. So yeah,
Rivalries.
49ers.
But that game was embarrassing, man. So that's what I was trying to say. Like
49ers.
I don't ever feel this way. Like if it's the Bills or the Sabres and they're getting their asses handed to them, I'm gonna turn it off. I'm sorry. But if it's another team, I don't. It's like, who cares? But I said, Laura, we have got to stop watching this game.
Did you guys watch the whole game?
We watched up until the interception at the very end when they picked off Rodgers in the end. I said, okay, that's it. I just cannot watch this anymore.
I don't know. I can't stop watching.
Sure.
When the Vikings are doing horrible.
Yeah.
I still watch the Vikings do horrible.
Yeah.
It's just it's like you have to go through that.
You just
that
got to be there
misery.
for him.
Yep.
You do. Yeah.
You
You're
can't-
taking one.
You got to watch the film
Taking your
through the
lumps.
credits.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the
I've
film.
been doing that lately, watching all. I mean, maybe
part
it's
of the film.
part of this, but
Yeah, it's 37 to 20.
These credits are great.
I mean that dude. What's his name? C-Dubs.
Mozart.
Yeah. He's a
He's
beast.
insane.
Yeah.
220 yards.
What?
4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like he just kept on breaking through.
Yeah.
like they didn't. Unfortunately, the Green Bay didn't have a line, and then they sacked. They sacked Brett or
Rodgers.
Not Brett.
Yeah.
Rodgers.
Rodgers, yeah.
Rodgers
3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, they
So-
were
They
just
intercepted him.
outmatched.
It was
The
yeah, it
49ers
was
are
tough
a really
for
good
Green
team.
Bay. But I mean, it kind of showed that Green Bay, while having a good record, did not look good often in the season.
No.
And it kind of
Yeah.
showed against the better team like San Francisco.
And I was talking to folks from Wisconsin. You know, we have friends and family in Wisconsin, and just how the Packers doing, just kind of checking in throughout the season, and they would basically echo what you just said. They're winning, but they shouldn't be.
Yeah,
And
it
get
was-
them to the NFC championships, which is pretty cool.
It was kind of like how the Patriots season has been.
Sure.
A lot of the games that they were winning were just on like trick plays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've heard. Is this correct that Green Bay had, or I don't know if you know, but if they had I heard that they had a new offensive coach or
New head
situation,
coach.
new head
Yeah,
coach,
new head coach.
and he brought in a new scheme,
Sure.
offensive scheme that
I don't know about that, but
Rodgers wasn't that
Hip to.
hip to,
Sure.
and so it's just
Lafleur, I think he's French. I forget. He's the youngest head coach, right? He's like 40 something.
and we're gonna have to see where Rodgers goes with this
Mes
after this next season with him getting in the upper ages.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing too, man. You start to look at these quarterbacks. Even Tom Brady, 40 something, right? Isn't he in his 40s?
What you saying?
That's what I was just gonna say. I have a point to bring up. What is Tom Brady gonna do next season?
Put his thumb up your butt.
Apparently, he had sold his home in Brookline, Massachusetts,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Oh.
telling.
which is like a suburb of Boston near there. And he and his wife Giselle moved to Connecticut.
Ooh, dealing with the hot tips.
Also, that apparently they cleared out the suite at Gillette Stadium.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
And bought a lot of stock
all
in
gone.
Frosted Flakes.
It's all gone.
all gone. Okay,
I'll go.
That last one was definitely
So-
true.
Colin,
Yes, sir.
Whatever.
Yes, sir. Fuzzy.
you keep on talking about this winning stuff.
Winning.
And like if your team's
I'm
not
so
winning,
sick of
you're
winning.
you're able to go over to another team and enjoy their winning. Like tell us a little bit about
Sure.
that. Like
I mean, maybe that was an incorrect way to phrase it. I generally don't care about sports unless it's the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah.
And if it's not the Sabres, then I'll watch it if it's on. But I've been living in Minnesota since 2007. If the Vikings or the Wild, or I mean baseball, the Twins or the Wolves, or if any of the Minnesota teams, get to the thing and it's a big deal, then sure, I'm gonna be happy and then supporting. But I don't know. I just grew up on the Sabres, and
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. So yeah, I probably I feel like some people can switch allegiances or sort of like evolve into a new team. Like, do you have any teams, C-Dubs, out in California? Are you just
Yeah.
Minnesota guy the whole
I've-
time?
I've evolved into a Dodger fan.
Sure.
But that came also with my grandma actually was a Brooklyn Dodger fan.
That's
so that's
cool.
kind of like why I made that allegiance before I worked for them.
Mhm.
And I'm also LAFC is my favorite soccer club.
Sure.
and you
And,
used
I
to
mean,
be
I'm obsessed with them.
Yeah.
And
Jets
then-
fan, right?
The Jets. Oh, come on, man.
Well, my dad's a Jets fan,
The
so I
Jets.
follow the Jets too because of my dad.
Vinny Testaverde.
I don't know the Jets that well.
That's like mid
I
'90s
remember
Jets.
Mark Sanchez.
I don't know Mark Sanchez. Yeah, Broadway Joe, right?
But so I just
Yeah.
want to ask you. So you being a Buffalo fan, you got to experience not one, not two,
Right,
not
yep.
three, but 4 Super Bowls.
all 4 directly
Holy
in a
cow.
row. All 4 right in a row. It was 89 through 94, 89, 90 through 94. So I was like 5 until what's 5 plus 4? 9.
Oh, that's a great
Yeah,
time
dude.
too.
Yeah. And I don't remember the first one. It was just sort of, I just was like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
But I have sort of vague, sort of like foggy, memories of being watching the Super Bowl sort of every year. And I remember one. It must have been the AFC Championships, probably going into their last Super Bowl, because that's like the clearest memory. My mom was a huge. I'm wearing. This is one of her sweatshirts, one of her Bills sweaters that I've got on here. I have 3 more at home. When they made the playoffs in 2017, after 20 years of not being in the playoffs, right, or about 20 years, I said, "Mama, give me all the Bills gear you got," and I brought it back out here. We were actually. So I'll get to the Super Bowl in a minute here. And I sort of hold that here. But Laura and I, we were back in New York at my parents' for New Year's Eve. This would have been 2017 into 2018. And we were playing music. It was New Year's Eve. We're playing music at my brother's distillery in my hometown. And we're playing a song, you've seen us play. It's sort of moody and kind of, sort of sad sort of music. And we're playing our tunes and kind of having a good time. And suddenly people are just screaming and yelling. And it's like the blood pressure just like went through the roof in the building.
Like
and
the
Laura,
building's blood pressure.
yeah, it was like the like Ghostbusters 2 when the slime, like you sort of felt this like psychokinetic sort of energy. Ghostbusters 2 reference,
I
man.
love that movie.
Right? It's the best one. It's the best Christmas movie. So all of a sudden we're like, what the hell? Are they like upset with us for playing a song? Is there a fight breaking out? Turns out some team had just lost so that the Bills made the playoffs for the first time in, I think, 20 years. I think it was 20 years. And we're back there going like, I'm like, what? I like almost started crying. Not that night, but when I found out what had happened, like it just like brought a tear to my eye. Because, the last time they were doing anything, they did okay here and there after the Super Bowl losses, but they just, okay, so the Super Bowl losses, the clearest memory that I have is my mom, like, I was outside, or rather, she was watching the game, and it must have been a playoff game, and she said, if they win, you'll hear me screaming, you'll hear me shouting, yay, whatever. I said, okay, cool, whatever, Mom, I'm going to go play outside. And I remember going outside, and then some amount of time later, and when I say outside, I mean, I'm like probably a football field away from the house. We grew up in the country. So I'm like way out in front of the house, in front of my dad's shop. We're kind of hanging out there, just kicking stones around or whatever we were doing. And all of a sudden I heard her just screaming, and the Bills had won. So it was like any sports team winning and going to the championships.
Yeah.
And it was like that around there for those couple of years. Everybody was just like, yeah, the Bills are doing it. They're going to win.
They're doing it this year.
They're doing it this year.
So
yeah.
as a young kid, with them winning so much there, did you just think that that's what's going to happen every year? Like, this is a celebration every year. Like, it's like a birthday party almost.
I think, that's like sort of, I never thought of it that way as a kid, but kind of in retrospect, and if you ever get the opportunity to visit Western New York, where I grew up, you will see it as a very economically depressed region. And like, we think, I didn't really understand just how sort of impoverished the area is until I moved out here, and I was like, whoa, they'd be like, oh man, it's like real rural, and like it's real rural out here, and really like whatever. I'm like, no man, you don't have potholes in your roads. If you drive down any state or any county highway in Cattaraugus County, where I grew up, it's like a fucking minefield.
Just not taken care of at all. Huh?
And so that has more to do with like the economic. It does. That has more to do with economic depression and the Rust Belt, sort of where I back where I grew up. But I also wonder. My buddy and I have talked extensively about this. We've sort of theorized and sort of philosophized and whatever about it. If the Bills had won just one of those Super Bowls, would things have been different? Would the energy have been different in that area? Because everybody in my hometown area is just like defeated. They're angry, they're sad, they're miserable, you know?
Time and time again.
And you just sort of get this feeling of like, whoa. I hear it echoed with Vikings fans or Twins fans. Oh, can't get too excited because they're gonna fuck it up in the end.
Yep. Yeah, and then the pessimism overtakes.
Yeah, and then the pessimism.
Your soul.
But at least out here,
what if?
Yeah, out here that energy feels a little less aggressive and a little less nihilistic.
It's a little bit more sarcastic.
Yeah,
a little bit
it's-
more sarcastic, I think.
Here it's just like, well, they lost.
Yeah,
Okay.
we knew that was going to
Yeah.
happen. We do go along with the excitement when it
Yeah.
happens, but we always, in the back of our mind or in the side of our cheek, we know,
You-
well, you're going to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Because you do.
And there's that there. So that's why I basically stopped watching the Bills, was because you just can't. It's just too sad. It hurts too
Yeah.
much. At least with hockey, there's 82 games in a season, so you can kind of like, it's a little more of like an adventure. Whereas football is just beelining to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? You know what helps us Minnesotans with making sure that. Oh man, what's
What
up, Dylan?
You know, the Minnesota Vikings have lost 4 Super Bowls, but at least they didn't lose 4 Super Bowls in a row.
I don't know. I would have at least liked to have been able to see them, though.
Twisting the
And if they
knife,
would have done them in a
Dylan.
row,
What
they
the
would have
fuck?
done them in the 90s.
Yeah.
Twisting that knife.
Get out of here. Yeah, I know somebody else was like, well, Minnesota lost 4 Super Bowls too. And I said, yeah, honey, do it 4 times in a row.
That would hurt.
and then come talk to
Yeah,
me
that would
about it.
hurt.
Yeah. It was bad, man. It was terrible.
But we feel you.
But
Yes.
Yeah.
My parents had dinner apparently with Jim Kelly one time.
I don't know why, but I had I had
Yeah.
an impression that they went to the Super Bowl 4 times and won.
No.
And so I was like looking at this,
Yeah.
looking at this interview in a totally opposite way
Sure.
here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm
We
gonna
are-
take back everything that I said,
Sure.
because I know that it offended you.
No,
when
I take no offense.
Well, no, I know. So I'm gonna take everything back and then go forward with this and tell you, man, that must suck.
It does.
Wow.
And it did. Yeah.
Wow. And so you understand, you understand our plight.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Kind of
yeah.
like another thing, is the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Keep on losing, and we're so used. The Minnesotans are so used to the Minnesota sports losing so much. Other than the Lynx,
Yeah, they kill.
we're just so used to it. And
Yeah.
the Timberwolves this year, and just this last week, still losing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Even though that Towns is back, it's just not going well. Have you been watching many of the games?
We had lunch at Pub 500 today, and the Timberwolves were on. I'm not sure if it was a rebroadcast
Yeah.
or if they played this afternoon. They're playing the Raptors.
Yeah, they lost
that
tonight.
was a
They lost.
rebroadcast.
Okay, it was a rerun, sure. But it was Hockey Day in Minnesota over the weekend, which I think is super cool. Hockey
Yes,
Day in
that is
Minnesota.
really cool.
That warms my heart. I played hockey when I was younger, so I just all things hockey are cool. And the Minnesota Lady Gophers were playing. I think it was a rebroadcast too, but they're like the #1 team in the Division I ladies women's hockey, which I didn't know, and that's pretty cool. It made me go like, I started having sort of emotional, feelings. Like I started having feelings about this. Men's sports are up here. There's a men's sports, the National Football League, and all this bullshit, and women's sports are sort of like, and that's maybe a different topic, but it just was like a big beaming, like alarm sort of light on just how once women are done playing sports in maybe college, you have the WNBA. I don't know quite what you have after that, but I was sort of said, I should watch more of the Gophers hockey or the Mavericks, I guess a little more locally here.
It's
Yeah.
The Mavericks were good too.
Yeah, I know.
It's a sad thing that people don't
It's not
pay
recognized.
attention. Yeah, and we talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, the just back to the Timberwolves really quick.
Sure.
It just sucks that even with Cat being back, just still not doing well. But
Our boy's doing good though.
just like
Keeping up leads,
Our
too.
guy.
just like every game, there's a star player every.
You have
There's
someone breaking
Another
up.
person steps up,
during
but the
a-
rest don't do anything.
And Wiggins stepped up one of the last game to the point where he got a triple double, his first of his career.
What is a triple double?
It's when you get
Is that cheeseburgers?
3 of things,
Yes,
and
yeah,
2 of
cheeseburgers.
things.
That's a triple double sounds delicious.
What is it?
It's when
It's
you get double
points-
digits in, what is it, points, assists, and rebounds?
yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
Yes, you get double digits.
Yeah.
Points, assists, rebounds.
And
Nice.
so, congratulations to Wiggins for having his very first of his career triple-double game.
Yeah.
We salute you, sir. And that was your Wiggins update. So next we have the WNBA, and we started off the season with talking about every player and the coaches of the Lynx, because that's our home team, and we are looking forward to the next season. The next season starts in May, and then once we got through the team, we started going through WNBA, the other team, the other teams, and just kind of giving a little highlight on the other teams. And this week we have the Chicago Sky from Chicago.
Who's there? I think I edited a book about one of their star players a couple years ago. I don't remember her name though. But
C-Dubs knows.
Yeah, I remember reading extensively about a player for that team.
So the Chicago Sky has been in the league for 14 years. They started up in 2005. Their coach, Wade, James Wade, is both the GM and the coach.
Cool.
Whoa, cool.
C-Dubs, you got some more on the Chicago Sky?
Yes. So also on top of that, he was also coach of the year this last season, and they were in the playoffs this last year. They got bounced in the second round, so they've kind of turned it around from their last few seasons. They weren't very good, so this guy's kind of reinvigorated the team and gotten them playing better, and that's why he got coach of the year. They've had a conference title and been to a championship game, but they have not won a championship. And that's a little bit about the Chicago Sky.
So that's awesome. Once again, in May, beginning in May is when the WNBA season starts, and it's going to be fun. We had Minnesota Hockey Night in Minnesota, up in the cities this year. The Wild won by 7 goals.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the game at
Go
all?
Wild.
I saw part of it.
Yes,
I think
it went
I
0.
watched the beginning of it. You know why I don't like Dallas? It's because not only did the Dallas Cowboys beat the Bills twice in the Super Bowl, the Dallas Stars beat the Sabres
Oh,
in 1999 in the
And-
Stanley Cup final.
Oh boy.
And they stole our team.
They did.
They stole
yeah.
Yeah, they did.
They stole
Dallas,
our team.
man. Yeah.
Bull crap.
The Stanley Cup loss against the Sabres led to the. Do you remember no goal? Does that ring any bells? No goal. Okay, so it was like 3
That
overtimes.
sounds like a New Orleans Saint
yeah,
playoff curse.
yeah. So it was like second overtime, maybe third overtime, and then suddenly, Dominik Hasek, the best goalie to ever live, is the Sabres goaltender, and he's sprawling on the ice. And here comes Brett Hull for the Stars. Foot is full on in the crease. His skate is just, eating the crease for breakfast. And he, so at that time, if your foot was in the crease, if any party of your player was in the crease and you scored a goal, it was a no goal.
No goal.
What's
Yeah.
the crease?
The crease is the big blue sort of area. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the area in front of the goalie. It's basically the goalie box. And in
You
in
can't
those
go in there.
you couldn't back up until the Stars beat the Sabres in that game. If anything was in the crease, it was no goal.
Okay.
So here's Hull, 5 miles deep in the crease, scores the overtime winner, and of course it's the Stanley Cup. It's they won the game, they won the cup, so the confetti's falling and everybody's going bananas. They're in Buffalo, so it was even worse.
How convenient that it counts then.
Yep,
huh?
yep. And that next season, they sort of took away the goal thing. So that was another Buffalo screwed again moment for us here.
So convenient.
Yep. So that's another reason as well.
Okay,
We don't
yeah.
like Dallas.
I don't
Yeah,
like
that makes
Dallas
sense.
either.
I don't like Dallas now. The
No,
more
man.
that we talk about it.
They're a bunch of thieves.
Yes, they.
They steal teams. They steal Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
Not
They'll
good.
steal everyone's cups.
And then Charlie,
Hide your kids. Hide your cups.
you had an insight on the on the hockey's goalie, the Minnesota Wild's goalie situation.
Yeah, so even though Dubnyk is our star goaltender, the team seems to be playing better behind Stalock.
Yeah.
Even though tonight they played Stalock, the team ended up losing
Who they play?
5-4, but for most of the game they seem to be playing a lot better and tighter than they had been for previous games. The Wild have been in a big streak of looking extremely sloppy or completely inept.
Sure.
Like, just cannot even score a goal. So that's been kind of troublesome because they're doing that when it's the games with Dubnyk, and Dubnyk's only giving up 1-2 goals and they're losing 0-2. That's not helping if your team, so. But when Stalock's in, they seem to play a little better. So it's weird, but maybe they should start playing Stalock more, even though he's the backup, if the team's going to play better for him. Because I know Dubnyk's had those family problems, and I would rather him take care of that than be worrying about hockey right now.
Interesting. I don't know anything about that, but that's what's really interesting there's a kitty to to hear about is what I become more interested in sort of the older I get, I think is the lives of the players, sort of off the ice or off the field. Speaking of family stuff, the Sabres had a goalie a few seasons ago, Robin Lehner, who was 6'7", 220 pounds, just a massive presence in the net. You'd think he'd just stand there and stop all the shots. Yeah. And some days he would play like a maniac, and other days it was just zoom, zoom, everything was going in. And there's this, maybe you subscribe to it, The Athletic. It's like a sports blog. I don't know if the article was on that, but anyway, the article was written by Lehner, and he sort of addressed that stuff. He's like, what was going on? I was fucking popping pills, and I was an alcoholic at that time because of my. I think he was diagnosed with just a severe anxiety disorder, which is a terrible thing for a goalie to have. And so he basically sort of stopped playing, got sober, and has been sober since. And I think I forget what team he plays for now, but he's doing really well.
Good.
Maybe he plays for the Blues, I think, and they just won the Cup last season. I can't remember, but so what you're saying about Dubnyk kind of having off ice, family stuff, that's it takes its toll on the players,
absolutely.
man. How are you supposed to focus when you've got shit going on in your personal life? It's to think about that.
I mean, can you even imagine being a professional sports player with all the lights on you and all the media and everybody wondering what you're doing and tweeting at you all thousands of times?
Yeah,
and,
I can imagine it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So imagine this,
Yeah.
James.
And I don't like that.
You don't like it. So
no, I like that part, but then life still takes its toll just like anyone else.
It does, and these players are humans,
Yeah.
And we got to remember that they sometimes need to take time for themselves, and I appreciate that the teams are allowing them to do that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it becomes unfunctional.
Yeah, you just grind your mind into the ground. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if a team is going to lose without, this player or that player, that is upsetting to fans, but it doesn't matter because the self-care of those players is far more important
Absolutely.
than a team winning.
Absolutely.
Who was the quarterback that retired at 30 because of
Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
Andrew
Luck,
Luck, yeah.
right. Why again? Was it he's I don't want to have concussions or something? Did that have to do with it?
He'd gotten so sick and tore up in the 3 or 4 seasons leading up to it. He tore his spleen.
Sure.
He had been sick. He had real sicknesses. He'd broken ribs,
God.
and he'd gotten multiple concussions. And he had just been healing every season. He just had to heal half the season.
Sure,
he was
sure.
I can't do this anymore.
Was he a good player? I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
anything about him.
He was a great
Yeah,
player.
because I remember friends of ours are in India, they live in India, and they were sort of commenting on it, and I caught wind of it through them, and then I read up on it a little bit, and I was like, yeah, man. I mean, if you only got one body,
Yeah.
Yep.
He was like the Doug Flutie of Seattle.
Was he?
And I was just, when I saw that, I was just like, good for him.
Yeah.
It's not, if nothing, no type of job is worth it to
that, right.
put your body or your mind through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen a lot of tragic stories with football players with concussions and stuff like that. And it's just like, take care of yourselves, play your sport because we know you love it, but make sure that the love for the money or the love for the game doesn't take your life
Right.
in bad directions.
Yeah.
Twins picked up a new player on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, we didn't cover that last week because
Uh-oh.
it just happened after our show.
Yeah.
But, Josh Donaldson, third base for the Braves.
Okay.
He's been
Former
there was
MVP.
like 3 teams kind of courting him with
What's that, C-dubs?
offers.
I just said former MVP.
Yes. Yes. No, there was like 3 teams courting him
Yeah.
for a contract. Everyone, a lot of Twins fans really wanted to see him join the squad.
Yeah. The Twins did pretty well this year, didn't they?
They were great
Yeah,
this year.
that's cool.
They're the
Yeah.
best team
Yeah.
ever in the world.
Yeah, well,
They were
of
great.
course.
Yeah.
And they
had
have actually won.
They had
just-
the Bomba Squad.
Yeah.
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 They just lost to make New York feel good.
Ah, okay.
Pretty much.
The Yankees.
You know what's funny about being from New York? I don't really care about the Yankees.
And no one cares about the
No,
Yankees.
well, I mean, I wore Yankees hats and stuff growing up because it was like, I like liking baseball as like a 7 to 10-year-old. You felt like sort of like this felt kind of this old timey kind of thing almost.
Yeah.
And I always wanted one of those like the sort of New York hats like I guess Fred Durst ended up wearing. I never got one, and it's probably okay because of because of the hat.
Just wait till Fred Durst.
It's like not a lot of people like the Yankees because money's involved,
And they always win, and money,
always
sure,
they
yeah.
always win because
Yeah.
a lot of it is due to the money.
Sure.
Would you rather like that? That's a good reason why not to like the Yankees.
Sure.
What if you learn that a team has cheated, or at the same time not just cheated once, and it wasn't just the management, but like the players were in on it, and there was even more cheating that they found out? Would you like that team worse or better than the Yankees? Because that happened with the Astros.
Oh, no kidding.
The
well,
the
yeah.
Astros just recently got caught again cheating
How?
this year, wasn't it? This last year?
Even this last season,
This last season.
they believe in the game that sent them to the World Series. Altuve was wearing a buzzer.
Oh.
Okay.
Under his
I don't know-
jersey.
I don't know anything about this.
So-
but yeah, fill me in, man. This is weird.
So, do you know about how they cheated first
No.
first time? So they
In the dark.
stealing pitches, whereas in that they with cameras
They were using
With-
HD cameras.
with HD cameras
to
they
catch
were
the catcher's signals and then relay a message to the players
Okay.
by banging on a trash can in the hallway.
Oh my god.
yep.
So like it's a
Seriously.
fastball, it's a curveball,
Yeah.
it's a Cleveland steamer. It's coming at you.
Yeah.
And that happened a couple years ago,
That was
Happened in
2017.
2017.
That is outrageous.
And then now new news is that in this last season, one of their players had a buzzer on him and got the signal that a pitch was going to be a pitch, and he got a game-winning home run.
How do you? I mean, but okay, so
What they're
that's
looking
terrible.
for is
Yeah.
like the off-speed pitch.
Yep.
okay, so it's going to be
So
slower.
they would get like a
faster,
signal for an
okay.
off-speed pitch.
Yep.
Sure. So you're
Like-
anticipating it's
yep.
going to be coming in weird. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of interesting. I mean, it's terrible that they're cheating, of course, but it's also kind of interesting that the batter in this instance was able to understand, to know what that signal, know what that meant, and then to sort of know how to approach hitting that ball and then get a home run. I mean, that's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
But it's cheating. You're cheating, so that's not cool. But it is sort of
They're all crooked.
right. Like how
Every
do
last
you
one of them.
like you have trained your whole life to be able to know how to hit that pitch with the right amount of force to send it out of the park.
Yeah, they're
That's-
they're professionals.
bananas.
They're,
Yeah, it's crazy.
that's what they're working on in
Yeah.
batting practice and all that. But yeah,
just
they
the
got-
consistency of it, I guess, is like what's mind-boggling. Like we know exactly how he's going to throw this ball, and then the batter is like, I know exactly how to hit that kind of a ball. Like this is what I've spent my entire
well,
life doing.
a lot of
Yeah.
it has to do
Wild.
with the analytics of the game too.
Okay, sure.
Because they have all these stats from all these years on how pitchers have pitched and against right-handers, left-handers, type of conditions of the field.
Yeah, man, baseball's really stats heavy, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's like
It's
it's
stats.
bananas. Because
It's-
I mean,
it's
what
all
else
it is
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 going
stats
on,
now.
right?
If you want, if you want to figure out how fast the wind was blowing at a certain time at a certain baseball field,
Yeah.
in a certain year, you could find that.
And how it affected the sure. And then you can like take that. Okay, so the wind's blowing 100 miles an hour, so this is going to affect his pitch by this or whatever.
Yeah, so you put it all in a program, and then they're like, okay, this pitch is going to be, or this pitch is going to pitch this way.
Yeah, that's bananas. I
Yeah,
don't
it's,
know.
it's
But
pretty
you're not
amazing.
supposed to use cameras to do that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
therein
Part
lie
of the evidence people are using to claim for this home run is that when Altuve hits the home run, he's just sent the team to the World Series, and he's about to run to home plate, and he tells the whole team, he waves his finger in the air, and he goes, "Don't rip my jersey." And he runs in the center, and they don't rip his jersey off, and he holds it really close to his body because he doesn't want the thing to show. And then there's another picture of another player in the clubhouse with a wire going across his chest underneath his T-shirt. And so they're claiming that those are part of the evidence that they did it and they had buzzers on. But you can watch the video. It looks weird. When was the last time a guy hit a walk-off home run? They didn't tear his jersey off and push him around the field.
Yeah.
Man,
It's ridiculous.
When
really weird.
When the World Series was done, I was like, man, what? We have nothing to talk about with the Major League Baseball anymore.
We haven't
Sure.
stopped talking baseball.
Wow, you guys. Yeah. So is baseball like your sport, or are you more football, or does it just sort of vary by whatever's in
I
season?
just like them all.
Sure.
I'll go to any game.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
That's
like
cool.
I like baseball a lot.
That's cool.
Um,
Did you guys grow up playing sports?
yeah.
You did. What'd you play?
I played football, basketball, and track.
No shit.
And
What were you in
then-
football?
Wide receiver and cornerback.
Cool.
And I played that like 9th and 10th grade. And then track, I played 6th through 12th grade.
Sure.
And basketball 6th through 12th grade. And then
Oh wow, the whole time.
Oh no, basketball 6th through 10th grade.
Oh, sure.
And then 11th and 12th grade year, I just ran track and went to state. And
Cool. Did you, because I kind of experienced this too. Like, did you have any, you were playing sports, you're a jock, but were you also like into music and sort of that? Was there two sort of fuzzies, kind of?
Yep. So
Yeah.
I went to state in track, and we broke a couple school records in the 4x2 and 4x100.
You did.
Yes.
Wow.
And then like three school records. And then I was also in a band. I played trumpet in the concert band
Cool.
since 10th grade. Was in concert band, and then during school, and then during summer, I was in the marching band Lancers, and I was captain of my trumpet line. And my senior year got a best marcher award out of a crew of 260.
That's cool, man.
260
That's crazy.
players.
Wow.
And we went to Hawaii that year, and we're the band that was picked by the Lions Day club or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Lions Day parade out in Hawaii, and
Sure.
they picked our band out of all of the bands in
Wow.
Minnesota
That's
to go.
crazy.
And I won. And we took second place, and
Man,
I won the best marcher award that year.
that's incredible.
So yeah, band and sports.
Yeah, and sports have always been it. Did you ever have like I got bullied by the punks for being a sports guy, and the sports guys were just like, "Wait, you play music? What?" So it was this very sort of like bizarre. You couldn't be a jock and play. I couldn't be a hockey player and then go play in my punk band after the game because they were like, "Oh, he's gonna beat us up."
No.
You know what I mean? It was sort of like playful bullying, but it still felt. I was like, "Yo, I thought we're all inclusive here."
No, in
You know?
sixth grade, I was
Yeah.
in sixth grade. I was the size as that I am now.
Sure. Oh wow, you're big. You were like a big kid.
Yeah, I was 6'1" in sixth grade.
Jesus.
165 pounds.
Yeah.
So no, I was friends with everybody, and then got straight A's in school as well. And then I was the dude that was sitting at home playing Doom while everybody was at parties and drinking.
Sure.
And so I didn't really go to like school parties and drink at all, but
Yeah.
excelled.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Sports are cool.
Yeah.
I like playing sports, but I don't like the majority of people who play sports. You know what I mean?
Nope.
And not to cut you off,
Sure,
sorry.
that's fine.
But we are in fuzzy memory time.
Uh-oh, we just did that.
It's kind of, yeah. Fuzzy Memories is a trivia game that we play at the end of the show.
Okay, ask us about the Hawaii thing that you just talked about, and I'll get all the questions
Well,
right.
they're not questions about me.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
they're just
I see how
they're
it
these
is.
questions I concocted in my own mind about sports history and sports in general, and it can be about any sport.
You just gotta be a sportsman to know all these, like me.
So it's not like trivia about you as a person.
No.
No. It's about the
I'm here for that,
the,
man.
the world of sports. And don't worry if you don't get them right. The scores are very low.
Sure.
But C-Dubs is at 28.
Wow.
James is at 27.
Okay.
And the guests, the only reason why the guests are so low too is because there's not guests every week.
Sure.
Are at 17.
Okay, well, we're going to do what we can here, guest team,
So-
guest host.
And we're gonna start off with you.
With me or James?
You.
Me.
With you. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Make it an easy one.
And just to let you know, this round, the guests double their points.
Ooh. All right. Daily double.
Which sports figure holds the record for appearing the most times on the cover of Sports Illustrated?
Oh, God. Can you give me any clues?
No,
Oh, for crying out loud.
doesn't work that way.
Sports figure. Sports Illustrated. The most times on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Yep.
Have we talked about him earlier in the program?
Can't give any clues, but no.
Tom Brady.
Incorrect. James.
It's Jack Nicklaus.
Incorrect. C-Dubs.
He's
Michael
looking up
Jordan.
the answer.
Correct.
God.
For bonus points, how many times?
6.
Incorrect. Colin.
23.
Incorrect.
That's
James.
his number.
7.
Incorrect. 47 times.
Wow. 47 times.
You were on a
And
good track. there.
Michael Jordan.
MJ.
He's the man.
James, which two countries have not missed one of the modern day Olympics?
What 2 countries have not missed one of the modern day Olympics?
You can just pick one.
Oh, one of the 2.
Yep.
England.
Incorrect. C-Dubs.
The United States of America.
Incorrect. Colin.
France.
Incorrect. Greece and Australia.
Interesting.
C-Dubs.
Perfect attendance.
What is the maximum weight for a golf ball?
4 ounces.
Incorrect. Colin.
6 ounces.
Incorrect. James.
5 ounces.
Incorrect. 1.6 ounces.
Holy cats. I guess. It's a heavy golf ball. If it's half a pound.
That was
how
a
much
new
is a pound?
question too.
16 ounces. That's a pound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
5 ounces. That's a big ball.
That's a big ball.
Yeah, 5 ounces.
We play with here.
Yeah, that's right. Big balls.
Golf balls.
Yes.
C-Dubs or Colin?
No, I think it's me.
Colin.
He hit the golf balls. Yeah.
Okay. Which track and field event is banned in high schools in every state except Rhode Island?
Hammer throw.
You're correct.
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Good job. You got
Thanks,
some
man.
points there.
Hell yeah. Go Team Ghost. Team Guest Host.
Team Ghost.
Okay.
I'm ready.
James, ready?
That's what I said.
What sport other than baseball uses the word home run?
Oh no. Is it cricket?
You are correct. Throwing it back to the earlier episodes, we've talked about cricket quite a bit.
You got to know what a crumpet is in order to understand cricket.
No.
Casey Jones.
Job, Casey Jones.
Oh, you.
C-Dubs.
Is that a Jose Canseco bat?
How many panels make up a soccer ball?
What was that?
How many panels make up a soccer ball?
64.
Incorrect.
72.
Incorrect.
46.
Incorrect.
Keep going around.
32. 32. Where are we at now? I don't remember. Are we at
Colin.
the Dylan question, or is it Colin's turn?
Oh, it's Dylan question.
Dylan
yes.
question. Dylan, got your question ready, bud? Here, use my microphone.
Yep.
This is a buzzing, by the Colin. This is a buzzing question, by the way.
Okay.
So whoever buzzes first gets to answer first,
Sure.
not last,
Gotcha.
because sometimes it's last. Not really. It's usually always first.
Okay.
Dylan.
Okay. The San Francisco quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, who I believe is 28 years old, right, will be playing in the Super Bowl in a few weeks. How many Super Bowl championships does Jimmy Garoppolo have?
Beep.
JMS.
2.
Is that correct?
That is right.
2.
Okay, cool.
Two is correct. JMS got 2 points. Okay. So that means that JMS is now at 30 points. C-Dubs is at 20.
Whoa.
And the guests are at 27.
20.
27.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how that round worked.
Ah.
Because so just follow me here.
Yeah.
There was a question that you answered that you got correct. Then you added that to 2 times 4 plus the 6 power.
Yes.
And then you didn't get the other question right.
Correct.
And so then you subtracted 4 and then you times that by 2.
Is this some sort of
And
like,
then you make that a number in one of those parentheses things.
Yes.
So then you make it a negative.
like a differential equation?
Differential equation.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Is this
And-
like a British thing? Is this like a Monty Python skit?
No, this is
What's going
this is
on
fuzzy
over here?
math.
Okay.
Fuzzy math. And then you just kind of take it, and then you have now
Sometimes
27
you just
points.
take-
All right, man. I will. I'm back in the game.
How do I have 20?
That's no. You
I
have
took some
20
of your
You have
points.
28.
Oh, okay.
So C-Dubs has 28.
It sounded like C-Dubs lost some points there.
It did.
James has 30 points, and the guests have 27 points.
Whoa!
That was a really awesome round of fuzzy trivia.
That was
everyone.
fun. Yeah.
I really appreciate everybody
Yeah.
In the world.
in the world, not just the people that played Fuzzy Memory,
Both
of course,
sides.
but everybody. Not
Sorry.
okay. Yeah, no,
No.
no,
No.
no,
Not everybody.
not everybody.
No. Don't do that.
If you're a fucking asshole, don't be a fucking asshole.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I don't appreciate that.
I like it when people are able to change,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's nice,
That is nice. That's a good thing.
But don't be a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. That's what we're talking about. So with that, we are at the end of FuzzJock Radio.
Cool.
I'd like to say thank you to our guest Colin for coming onto the show tonight.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This was really fun. I could do this again.
Good. Just to remind everybody, he is part of a band. He is the band with his wife Laura. Goodnight Goldust, and also they have solo projects that they've been working on.
Yep. Brand new bands.
So make sure to go on Facebook and Twitter and find them. How do you find them?
Sure. Yeah. We're pretty easy to find. Goodnight Gold Dust. It's 4 words. You just type it in. There's nothing else out there except for a Western novel in which a cowboy says "Goodnight Gold Dust" to his pony.
They're on the band camps and everything. So
That inspired the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
The
it was more of a
Western
Fleetwood Mac thing, but
do you got anything going on at the end this next week?
Looking to start some recording with my little side project. So I'm hoping to have a single or 2 out by the end of February, which we're
Nice.
sort of looking to do some pre-production for this week.
Nice.
I would love to go skating and maybe play hockey somewhere,
Yeah.
but I don't know if anybody does that.
I don't do that.
I
Yeah.
want to go ice skating.
Yeah, you ice skate?
I have before.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
Well,
play some hockey.
You guys should exchange each other's numbers. I
Yeah.
know that you just met, so
If anybody out there wants to play some like old man hockey with me, just let me know. I would love to
Cool.
to do that.
JMS, anything going on this next week?
Oh, we're gonna go to a winter caravan on Thursday.
Yes, we are.
That's
What's that?
The
the
Twins.
Twins winter caravan.
Do you want to go on Thursday?
Thursday is a
We
thing.
have a ticket for you.
I wish I could. I actually have dinner plans.
Okay, well,
Thursday.
you're gonna have to find somebody to take the ticket.
I will.
we
I-
have
I-
we
okay.
have dinner plans
Yeah.
with like
Yeah, the
40
Twins.
other people.
And Joe Mauer?
No,
No.
No.
but Tony Oliva, Hall
Yeah,
of Famer,
that'll be awesome. Yeah, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Where's that?
Cato Ballroom.
No shit.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
they're
awesome.
gonna give us a hot dog and a Pepsi.
Wow. Just like at the game.
Yeah.
Yep. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna get something autographed.
That's so cool. So the
C-dubs.
Twins come here. They come here and they do this. It's
Yeah.
a regular thing. That's
Yeah.
really neat. I
Yeah.
like that a lot. That's cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I like
Caravan.
it. I haven't been to one in a long time.
Cool.
Did you know that that next year they decided that they're gonna have Minnesota the Minnesota Hockey Night in Mankato?
What?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
That's really
announced
cool.
it.
Holy cats.
Happy Minnesota Hockey Night, guys.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
exciting.
So
I'm excited
that's something
for
to
that.
look forward to.
Hell yeah.
C-Dubs, what do you got going on this next week?
Working, and we're gonna do some work for Habitat for Humanity, so that's gonna
Oh,
be
cool.
fun.
That's
And
why you were
then,
sleeping. So
Yeah,
That's-
it'll be better than sleeping.
yeah. Well, no, you were
And,
energizing yourself up for working for Habitat Humanity. That's awesome.
Yep, I was
Cool,
prepping
man.
for that, and then we've got Fan Fest on Saturday, which is a free event that people can come to the stadium and meet players and stuff like that. So, and my parents
Cool.
will be in town, so they're gonna go
Nice.
to that too. So that'll be fun.
Cool.
How about you, Fuzz?
I
I gotta watch out for snails.
Snails.
Oh, that's right.
FuzzJockRadio!